Friends, the power of scholarships is real. Just imagine wanting to go to college, wanting to break barriers in your life, wanting to change the trajectory of your future, and realizing that college is one of the significant ways to go about doing that. And everyone around you is saying, go to college, do great things in college, only to realize that you have a dream that you can't afford. That's why scholarships play a huge role in decreasing our need for student loans. They play a huge role in breaking down that barrier to success. And today's guest, Kay Thomson, who has been the executive director of the British American Foundation of Texas since 2016, believes the same thing. She believes that education is the most significant driver in social and economical improvement, and that education and achieving objectives should not be dependent on financial status. Kay is from East Sussex in south of England. She graduated from the University of Surrey with a double honors in French and economics and has worked in public and private sectors, including higher education in Singapore, Baku, Aberdeen, and Paris before moving to Houston in 2013. And when Kay shares about the scholarships that are being offered through her organization, it just gets me really excited to know that students like you can take advantage of these opportunities and turn your dreams into a reality. So grab that notepad, and that pen, and let's jump into this episode. You're listening to the Scholar Budget Podcast, where we teach you how to earn a debt-free degree, grow your money, and claim every opportunity with your name on it. I'm your host, Raquel Bartoli. Let's jump right in. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I am well and very eager to hear more about you and your organization and how our students and parents can tap into all the amazing things that you're doing. So, Kay, listen, tell us more about who you are and what you do.
So I am Kay Thomson. I'm the Executive Director at the British American Foundation of Texas here in Houston. We're commonly known by our acronym BAFTX.
Nice, BAFTX. And I was supposed to double check with you and say, Kay, am I supposed to say BAFTX? Is it BAFTX? So thank you for clarifying that for me.
Sure.
Awesome. And can you talk more about the mission and founding principles of the British American Foundation of Texas?
Of course. So we were founded in 2006 by members of the British American Business Council of Texas. They wanted to find a way to give back to education in our state. And our mission is to offer scholarships programming to underserved scholars throughout the state of Texas to attend college in Texas and majoring in business or STEM.
Awesome. So the scholarships are for students in Texas, and those students, do they have to attend college in Texas in order to qualify?
Yes, so it's more the students attending college in Texas.
Okay.
We do ask that they resident in Texas, but we have students who have moved outside of the state and then come back to college in Texas. So we have a little bit of flexibility in that we do not fund currently college education outside of the state of Texas, however.
Okay, awesome. And so what inspired BAFTX to focus specifically on assisting gifted and talented young people from underprivileged backgrounds? And what impact have you seen this support have on the students and the communities that are able to be blessed by this opportunity?
Okay, so our founders were very, very aware of the transformative powers of education. How it can uplift individuals, but also families and community and our economy as a whole as well.
Right.
And they felt a need to give back. Also, I think college in the US, myself, obviously from my accent, I'm British. I went to school in the UK. I've completed my education there, and it's very different. At the time I went to college, there was no cost for tuition. Things have changed slightly in the UK since then. But it just doesn't seem fair that education has this power to transform and do good for all of us, really.
Right.
And yet we press it out of range from people who can benefit from it in such a significant way.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like it would make sense to just make it more accessible to more students and more people, because at the end of the day, it's a revolving, it's like we recycle it, right? If I'm educated and I get better pay and I have better knowledge, then that goes back into my community, etc. But we're
Hmm.
so thankful for organizations like BAFTX that are willing to support and help students turn their dreams into a reality. And so, Kay, can you walk us through the different scholarship programs that BAFTX offers for students from underprivileged backgrounds?
Yeah, sure. So we have a couple. At the moment, we have applications open for our undergraduate scholarship. This is for students in Texas, underserved with great potential, who are majoring in STEM or business at a college in Texas, and that could be a 2-year or a 4-year college.
Right.
All of our scholarships, I should say, we do not require our scholars to be U.S. citizens or permanent residents. We do offer to
Nice.
undocumented students as well. We still that that's important, that everyone should have the same opportunity. Um, we also have our Women in STEM scholarship. We recognized a few years ago that it was very important to support female scholars who wanted to pursue careers in STEM, certainly underrepresented, and something that we felt should be changed. And female scholars should have that opportunity too. And we are also accepting applications at the moment for our Susan Howard Scholarship. Um, this is very close to our hearts. Susan Howard was our past president.
Okay.
She very sadly passed a few years ago, and this is in her memory. She was a lady who felt a great need to do good wherever she ended up. She was a Brit. She ended up in Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and she really gave back to her community. She was a community champion. So this is a scholarship in her memory for our community champions, and this could be anyone from the age of 11 all the way up to 21 who is
Oh,
looking for
wow.
funding towards a college education. And we will hold that in escrow for students who are not ready to have that folded to the college just yet. So anyone who's proactive or has a leadership position in their community is doing their best to give back.
Nice. So it sounds like there's multiple options as far as the opportunities that scholars can take advantage of. And I've been so lucky to work with several organizations through Trio and Gear Up, and many of them are in Texas. So I'm really excited to be able to share this with them and say, hey, here's a great opportunity that
Awesome.
several of your scholars will be able to qualify for. So this is really, really great. And so, can you share with us how does BAFTEX select recipients for its scholarships, and what criteria are considered in the decision-making process? And I know you shared like multiple scholarships, but maybe just touch on some of those things that you're really looking for so that students can make sure they're ready and doing those things early.
Sure. Okay. So, our criteria are quite clear on our website. We're looking at evidence of financial need and academic strength.
Right.
So a good GPA. We also ask for SAT grades if anyone has that. So there are two big criteria at any college in Texas, STEM or business majors. But our selection process, we've done it in recent years. Because we wanted to make sure that our process was transparent. It gave us
Mm-hmm.
enough information for my review panel to make good decisions and the right
Right.
decisions. It's very important as a nonprofit. The money that we're awarding is not our money, it's our benefactors' money. So we have to make sure that it is awarded in the correct way on their behalf.
That makes sense.
So yeah, and we're very, very careful with that. But also, you know, we don't want students to come face to face with a 10-page application form and say, oh my goodness, I just can't. It's a lot. And
Right.
students are applying to dozens and dozens and dozens of scholarships. So we're really trying to strike a balance where we're asking for enough information to be informed and educated about our scholars and make the right decisions, but also so that it's not off-putting. So we ask for contact information. We ask about household finances. We are trying to wiggle through the current issues with FAFSA at the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
we've got a little bit of a plan B there on our website where we ask for alternative documentation while we're waiting for FAFSA.
That's
We
wonderful.
ask for transcripts, a teacher recommendation letter, and we also ask for information about community service, extracurriculars, membership of associations, part-time jobs, everything that our students are doing outside of the classroom and outside of the school.
Right.
And we also asked about extenuating circumstances. Anything that the students feel that, or the applicants feel that they haven't been able to express during the form that they feel supports their application. And this is where it gets very kind of difficult for us to hear what some of our students are coming up against, the challenges that they're meeting and overcoming. And it is, honestly, it is the most inspiring part of our year to read about what our young people are achieving. And just, wanting to do more and get on to the next step and really improve things for themselves and their family through scholarship and education.
Absolutely.
So that's what we asked for. And we also asked for an essay. It's about 400 words. It's not too onerous. That we really wanted to hear our scholars' voices in that as well.
Wonderful. I love how you said that, you want to make sure that you comb through and pick the right scholar, but not make it overwhelming at the same time. And I think everything you shared is what most scholarships are typically looking for. But I really like how you have that component that allows scholars to really share those things that are going on that most students don't want to put in their essay or application, because oftentimes they feel like they have to be perfect. So they don't want to talk about the fact that they're living in a homeless situation, or they're coming from an abusive household, or whatever the case is. So that's pretty cool how you take those challenges into consideration, but also realize that even though you have a challenge, based on your track record, your SAT scores, your GPA, your extracurricular, you're finding a way to push through those barriers and move towards your goal. So I think that's pretty cool. Awesome.
Thank you. And I just wanted to say, it's really important that we understand what our students are going through, because if you are going through something that is incredibly difficult, tell us. If your GPA is impacted because of that, we need to know. We have students who come here whose mother tongue is English. 2 years later, they're applying for scholarships. Maybe their GPA isn't where it might be if they had been speaking English for longer.
Exactly.
We've had, again, students homeless, students with very, very challenging situations with family members. Tell us, and we can take that into account. And I would say that my review panel all sign non-disclosure agreements. So all of the information is encrypted online. It is confidential. It does not leave. We would never use that. We would never discuss it outside of the review panel. And that's very, very important for us as well, that the students feel that they can disclose this safely.
Awesome. And do you have any additional tips that you can share with scholars as they apply for scholarships, whether it be through BAFTX or any other scholarship? What are some things that kind of come to mind for you where you're like, this is really an area that students do well in, and this is an area where they got to get it together?
Absolutely. I've got 3 tips today, and these apply to all scholarships, whether it's a BAFTX scholarship or somebody else's. First of all, follow the instructions. We a lot of the instructions on our website, they are all there. Don't waste time emailing me for a question that's already on the website. It's there. We have been doing this for a long time. We've had little questions. We put them in our FAQs.
Love it.
Follow the instructions. Secondly, I would say, try and think broadly. When we ask about extracurriculars and part-time jobs, I've had students say to me, well, I take care of my siblings because my mom's at work, and I didn't think to put that in. Put it in. It's a responsible thing to do. It shows that you are taking care of other people, that you are there for your family, that you're being responsible. So try and think broadly about what you do in the classroom, outside of the classroom, and put all that in, because you're starting with a blank sheet, and when you start filling out your application, that's all we know about you. We know nothing. We don't see you, we don't speak to you. Everything that's on that form is all we have to go on. So try and think as widely as you can about what you can put in. That's really important. Third one, meet a deadline. We have, for scholarships are open from September to March 31st. So we've got a good 6 months for everyone to get stuff together. We do ask for a teacher recommendation letter. This can take time. Teachers are incredibly busy people. They have
I'm so glad you said
a
that.
lot of people to deal with, a lot of
Right.
priorities. And so make sure that your teacher is able to provide a recommendation in good time. Help them with it. I'd like a teacher recommendation letter, please, for this date. And you may recall that, I've done X, Y, and Z. Give them some prompts to fill it out
Right.
if you can as well. But meet the deadline. I can't tell you, every year I have someone who says, oh, I had a tech glitch. I can't help you. Our form closes electronically at 12 noon on March
Right.
31st. If you hit submit at 12:02, we're not going to see it. You have wasted your
Exactly.
time completing stuff, writing essays. Don't let that be you. It's, push things to a side if you can from it, because this is something that has a significant impact on what happens after school for you.
Absolutely.
So just make sure, set yourself a mental deadline of, I don't know, March
Yeah.
23rd or something, get it done
Right.
on time. And I know that we have a lot of pressures and we're moving probably faster through life than we have done in a while. But up in that deadline, hit submit.
Right.
If you submit after the deadline, I cannot help you. I cannot push it through. It's closed. It goes automatically to my reviewers and we start the next phase of the process.
Yeah. And one of the ways that the Scholar Budget tries to help students with that, because, even as a professional, I know if it's not on my calendar, it's not going to happen. So what we try to do is train students and parents early on to utilize either a physical calendar or, even better, an electronic calendar, your Google Calendar, where you can get those, reminders, but just scheduling the time. And so that's why we love when students and parents start at least building out their list of scholarships in 10th grade or 11th grade, because that's half the battle, is knowing what scholarships are a good fit for me. And granted, even if the GPA requirement's a 3.5, right now I'm at a 3.0, but I'm in 10th grade. That means I still have time, but everything else I'm tracking right along. So thank you for sharing that. Like, the time management is a very important component if you want to be able to get these applications done and increase your chances of winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I love that you're doing that with starting planning early, because it creeps up on me so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with my daughter, she's in the 4th grade, and I'm like, listen, Toots, the Doodle for Google scholarship closes in March. We are starting it this weekend. So, trying to get them scholarship ready early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so can you share some stories of students whose lives have been transformed by your organization and the scholarships and all the great work that you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, this is the most exciting part for us, being able to award and see the transformational power of scholarship. It's truly incredible. We have been awarding scholarships since 2007. Last year, we awarded our 1,000th scholarship. And to have so many students through our doors, it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Right.
And it's just so exciting to hear what our scholars are doing at the moment. We hear about, so we had one young lady last year. She immigrated from Nigeria with her family, and her parents said, well, college, they moved here for a better future for their children, better access to education. Things got very, very complicated back home. And and they said, well, we don't know, you and your brother are going, we can't afford to put two students through college.
Right.
So she came to us, and she is doing absolutely phenomenally well.
Look at
I mean,
that.
I see her, she's on programs and winning awards. I mean, such a bright future ahead of her, such a smart young lady. We're so proud of her. We've had another student who we supported him through his undergraduate, and he studied for 3 bachelor's degrees concurrently, so 3 at the same time.
Wow.
He graduated with 3 bachelor's degrees. He took an MBA over the summer, self-paced MBA, so he knocked that out in a couple of months, and now he's at med school.
Nice.
And he is phenomenal. We met with him over the summer. such a smart guy. Our students are really out to change the world.
Nice.
And it's just so, I don't know, it it's great to know that we're able to help them, but it's also a little bit galling to think that if scholarships weren't there, if they didn't have this access, and through BAFTX or another scholarship organization,
Right.
where does this talent go? These people are our future doctors, our lawyers, our leaders, our engineers, our entrepreneurs. Where does that talent go if they can't get a college degree?
Right.
That's what I wonder. And how many students are we missing?
Right.
Which is why we are growing every year. We need more scholarships every year. We need to support more young people, make sure that they're able to get through college, focusing on their education, not worried about financial stress or
Right.
financial need, and not having to work 3 or 4 jobs just to be able to put a roof over their heads. Or support their families.
I hear
It's
about,
so
like,
important.
a college student who's living in their car, or they have to rely on the pantry, at their college. And thank the Lord for those colleges and universities that do provide a pantry for students who are, they can't afford the meal plan. But it's like, it's an added stress. Like, when you think about college and the college experience, you just want to be fully immersed and be able to join clubs and be a part of SGA and do all the great things. But when that financial burden is there, it makes it so much harder. So, thank you to BAFTX and everyone else that is in your organization doing this great work. And I too love the power of scholarships and how it helps and how it transforms lives. And, especially for low income minority first gen students, where when they look behind them, what they see are like hardworking parents that had to come from another country. All they see is like the hard work, hard work, hard work. And now they have an opportunity to do the hard work, but in a different way, and then change the trajectory of their future and their family. So thank you, Kay. Thank you for the awesomeness that's happening in Texas. And I'm so excited to share this with our listeners. And so, Kay, as we get ready to wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners about your organization, about scholarships? Any last words of wisdom?
Gosh, I would say message for the scholars and the families: just don't give up, keep applying, keep going. We have recently modified our scholarships. We don't offer multi-year awards, but if you have been a previous recipient, we have a much easier application form for you that doesn't require teacher recommendations. We still need to make sure that you meet our basic requirements,
right?
But it's less onerous. But just keep going. Don't give up. Education is truly transformative. We hear from students who say, my family didn't think I should go to college because it's going to be such a financial burden for us. Keep going if you can. Just keep trying, because, I was speaking to a student actually last week. She's graduated. She got 3 BAFTX scholarships. She's working in a multinational organization in Texas. And she said, I have healthcare now. I have healthcare for my entire family, my siblings. I've got this corporate job.
Nice.
And we've struggled for so long. And now I've got healthcare and I have a corporate wage. And that kind of thing is invaluable. It really is transformative. So just keep going. And, let organizations like us help you by applying.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Kay, for all of this awesome information. We're so appreciative that you've joined us for this episode.
It's my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and to share our information with you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Hey there. I hope you were taking notes and you're ready to implement what you heard. If this podcast inspired you or helped you in any way, I would love for you to subscribe, follow, and share this with a student, parent, or educator you care about, because sharing is caring. Also, your feedback means a lot. So please leave a written review of this show on Apple Podcasts. And if you ever want to connect outside of the podcast, you can find us at The Scholar Budget on Insta or the Book of Faces. So until next time, shine bright and put in the work so we can make those dreams a reality. Bye!